Like, do you feel like British schools are racist is really the question I'm asking you, like.
You want to think about British schools, yeah? I'm not even going to say anything. I'm just going to tell you a story and I'm going to let you judge. When we was learning about MLK, Ariola, if you remember this class, God bless you. We was learning about MLK, yeah? Why do we have so many racist teachers? Cool. With all the, obviously, there was these little, you know, political struggles or whatever that maybe some of the leaders didn't see eye to eye and stuff like that, but obviously they kind of saw eye to eye later, type of thing. So always, after we learned all of that, learned about all his Nobel Peace Prize and all of that, what he did for black people as a man, yeah. My teacher then turns around and was like, oh yeah, but everyone thinks MLK is great, yeah. But,
Is it the cheating thing? No.
Remember that?
No. But you see, no one said anything about JFK. JFK was a known philanderer.
What do you call it? Yeah. Even though everyone tries to make him out like a great man, he always used to cheat on his wife. He always used to cheat on. He was a cheat. Even though he was a great, he was doing all of these great things. He was a cheat. I just looked at him and was like, okay, MLK is getting scrutinized for it. JFK is like, oh, but he was a great man, and he did this, and he even died, and they even shot him.
They didn't even tell us about the fact that Abraham Lincoln was also racist.
Oh,
He didn't even like us that much. It was just inconvenient for them to keep slavery.
Do you know how long, yeah, I honestly thought, that's my little cotton socks. I honestly thought that Abraham Lincoln cared about black people.
I really
And
thought
that's
it was
why
for the people.
that's why he let us free. He was for the people. He saw that black people were suffering and he was like, nah, bruv, you need to get out of these chains. No. The day I found out that slavery ended because it was just too much of a financial burden for them, I was like, oh, but surely Abraham Lincoln can't be that bad. Then I heard the nigga was a racist.
Even the lies they told. I don't know if you heard about the 40 acres and a mule. They told black people if you fought in the Civil War, you'd get 40 acres and a mule if you were freed. Like if you actually won, if we won. And they didn't get no 40 acres and a mule. They didn't get anything. There was no reparations, and they didn't tell us that in. They didn't even tell us that in high school.
They didn't tell us that in high school, but they were too quick.
And when they did mention slavery, they actually talked about American slavery. They didn't talk about them doing it as well. It was very brief.
Yeah,
We ended it very early. Like,
we just had slavery for a bit and it ended.
yeah, it was like a paragraph of info and then keep it popping.
Literally, that's what he used to say. Yeah, Britain has slavery for a little while, but we abolished that time ago. It was America that still had slavery for a very long time. That's literally what history was.
Yeah,
History people, yeah. A big fuck you, very much.
Yeah, I even had a Jewish teacher. She was my Jewish history teacher, and I loved her. She was so cute. But you thought she'd be on our side. Even she tried it. I remember when I was like, oh, I really like Malcolm X. Like, Malcolm X was honest. He basically said, if you hurt me, I hurt you. If you don't hurt me, I leave you alone. It's basically self-defense. That was Malcolm X's vibes. And she was like, no, I don't really like Malcolm X. His ideology wasn't right at all. But I'm like, didn't you believe about liberation for your people? I was like, but black people fought for Jews as well in the war. So should we have minded our business? Because if you want liberation, and it's by all means necessary, which means some Germans have to die, some German Nazis have to die, then I'm confused. So it applies for everyone else is allowed to fight for their rights and their liberation, but we need to shut the fuck up. That is basically
it's liberation, revolution, or whatever the fuck.
They love a good war. They love a better war.
Yeah, but when it's us, revolt. Uprising. The fuck does uprising mean? What the hell does that even mean?
Yeah,
And what they believe in.
Even the language, yeah, the language is different. Theirs is a revolution, ours is an uprising.
Would you look at that? Great part of
And how do you think that's affected us? Because I feel like we still aren't seen as British even when we're born here. Like, we can have so much influences by Britain and we're still not considered as British. Like, we have the Windrush situation. I know that you have a personal story about that. Like, you know some people that have been affected.
Windrush. That's a stupid fucking situation. That's what that is. You're telling me you lot made Yardis come here. You lot made Jamaicans come here. Promising them better life, promising them all these things, blah, blah, blah. They get here, they realize that England ain't shit. These people are treating us like shit, but we still feel like we need to live up to their standards anyway. We got used to living up to your standards. Just for you to turn around and be like, oh, we don't need you no more.
After they built their country back up, after we've helped you get back to
your country, not our country.
We gave you strength.
We was in our country. Hey.
They gave you guys back your strength, brought you back into your routine, helped you feel comfortable living in your country again. But now we're not abused anymore. Now it's not. Yeah, we don't.
We don't need you, lot. You can go back to the Caribbean.
Yeah, our humanity comes with conditions. Our humanity comes with terms and conditions.
You invited us. We didn't ask to come. UK. They even went to the extent of saying UK streets are paved of gold. Blah 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 blah. Imagine. Look at the concrete. And the bad that it wasn't even concrete. It was them cobble things. Kind of walk straight on the road and you're telling me that it's painted of gold just for me to come there, and then you're years later, not even like bare long later, you're gonna be like, oh, go back to your home now. I don't know. I don't have a home anymore over there. So.
And I feel like Windrush will be, if it's not erased, it will be underplayed in history. Because these are all historical moments. Even 2020 is a historical moment. We're finding out that black children are more likely to die if they're patient to white doctors than if they have a black doctor. We're finding out black women are more likely to die in childbirth than white women. I think it's 4 times or 3 times more, which is scary.
That is so scary.
We're finding out that we get stopped more on purpose because we just look like criminals. I remember fit the description. I remember seeing a video. This is an American video. I've seen multiple ones in Britain, but it's like there's always this narrative. People are more sympathetic to American versions because they can watch a black man be tasered, they can watch a black man be beat up by the police here, and it's not deep. But once they see someone actually get murdered in America, it's like, oh yeah, racism's a bit sticky. But with British racism, people can just air it, and I don't know why, because it's still bad. But there's this guy called Elijah McLean, I think was his name, and he got injected with ketamine by the police. He wasn't even, this was during the pandemic, he had a mask, and they were like, oh, you fit the description. This was, I'm gonna be honest, a very slim black boy. He didn't look even vaguely aggressive. I feel like I could have beat him up. Like, he looked so sweet, it's actually heartbreaking. And they police are now the drug dealers. They injected him with ketamine.
They're the biggest criminals of them all.
Yeah, and there are good police, of course, but the good ones need to be louder. You can't be saying, oh,
exactly.
Every industry has.
Louder. It's just that, fam, there's too many bad ones that drown their sound
I don't
out.
think they're trying to be loud at all. I don't think they're making any noise at all.
A lot of police officers are corrupt and into drugs. They're getting handouts from big drug dealers, and even I think it's a Akala that even said himself that, like, behind that trapper that's selling on the street is likely a white person. Do you get me? Like, the plug is usually white. The plug is usually even plugged into like the system. Okay, how can I get around? Which police can I give handouts? Which police are like legit and which police aren't?
When they talk about white guys at the top of a drug chain, they will never use the term of a thug.
It's like drug lord. They make it. They make it. Yeah.
Drug lord. Oh, he was a top boss. He was a this. He was a that. But
even Pablo Escobar's rated.
Pablo Escobar is rated.
Praised. He's a legend.
I was black.
And that shows how it's racist, because they can do the same things we do, but they're not deported. No. They're not given the label criminal and thug.
One little thing.
My god.
But people make mistakes, but we're not allowed to.
And it's really the media, because the media is what feeds the people. 100%. I watched a documentary about how much media influences us. Media is just ideology. Whether you like it or not, whatever media you're consuming is trying to give you an ideology. That's a fact. No media is truly 100% like unbiased. It's every media has propaganda.
100%.
So I'm watching this documentary and it's feeding how even Disney films have propaganda. Everything has propaganda. Hollywood is the pinnacle of propaganda. Some news outlets, when they talk about black crime versus white crime, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's very bait. The language they use is different. The pictures. They use the pictures. They'll make sure they use the scariest picture of that black person.
But they'll use that mugshot from 20 years ago. But they are the victim. Are they not?
Yeah.
They're the victim. Why are you using that mugshot?
Every time we see white boys, it's never their mugshots, you know.
I remember I saw this
of
a white man. He killed his whole family, his 3 daughters and wife. And the picture they used was a nice family picture, them all together smiling, sat on the front of
I'm tired
of their house. Did he not kill them?
Madness does not have a colour. This is what people need to know. Madness does not have a colour.
They don't have a race.
Yeah. And I feel like you should even be more ashamed, because let's be honest, this country puts black people in estates that are heavily poverty ridden. The schools are not popping. There's not even centres, they're not even community centres for kids to let off steam and have bants. They're bored. They're broke and they're bored. But then you have rich people committing crimes and silence. You have no reason to commit crime. You have everything you need and more. You're not hungry. The heating is not coming off.
Literally.
Do you get me? And they don't.
Electricity, you don't have to wait 20 minutes for it to come back on.
It's like if you're poor and you commit a crime, scum. But white collar crime is sweet. It is, he's been finessing. It's a finesse. Do you get me? He played the system. They think it's like intelligent. They might even make a movie about the person.
Yes.
They might even make a movie.
Yes.
Oh my god. I love this film with my whole heart, but it just came to me. Wolf of Wall Street. To my nigga Jordan Belfort, yeah. Well, you robbed this America 2000 and whatever it was. Yeah. You finessed the system. But if you were black, they would have killed you. Did you see when they actually finally caught him and he went to prison? Man was playing fucking tennis. In prison.
White collar crimes is a real thing.
And the reason they even made the movie is because the guy eventually wrote a book about his life. And he even got more finance. He even finessed the public more.
Talking about sell me this pen. Shut the fuck up. That was a black. Look how. And then Wolf of Wall Street is not even considered a gangster film. What? American Gangster? Oh yeah, American. Have you ever seen American Gangster?
I think so.
The one with Denzel Washington in it, and he's black. Anyway, it's basically the same thing, but yeah. And then that's classed as a gangster film. That's classed as an action film. That's classed as a violent film. But Wolf of Wall Street isn't.
An autobiography.
And that nigga was taking drugs hard drugs from the beginning to the end.
There's even a scene where he's taking so much drugs that he literally just falls on the ground and he's like crawling to his car. I'm like,
fucking function.
What kind of?
The nigga's
What?
His spit is going like this around his mouth. His spit is just flying.
This
around
is
his mouth.
absolute nitty behavior, but they've romanticized it. White addiction is romanticized. Oh, the sexy rock chick who does coke. Oh no, am I right? Oh, the businessman, he does coke to make money and he's just so rich.
He just uses coke to calm down black people, crackhead.
And then we get Top Boy, love it, amazing. But you know the way Top Boy is represented, the way Blue Story is represented. It's different. It's a different vibe.
Exactly.
It's a different. I think even Blue Story got removed from some cinemas.
Yeah.
Because it was inflicting violence.
Censorship is real. They want to censor us.
Yeah.
A bunch of Asian kids came into the cinema.
Oh, they're doing us dirty, man.
But they're not even black, bro. They were Asian.
Yeah.
You 2 kids, yeah. When I catch you, yeah. Sad. Anyway, and then they cancelled the whole movie in the whole of UK, everywhere, just because of one incident that happened in one cinema that didn't even have black kids involved. Because it's bringing out violence. But let that be something like
They
John
don't
Wick.
want to have another Black Panther moment where it's only black people are getting all the attention. They didn't want
No, I think Black Panther hurt a lot of people because deep it.
but her.
They did it. Black Panther was an honest representation of African history. I don't think it was this mystical thing. We have all the gold. We have the copper. We have the oil. The West comes to us. But the only thing that was mystical about is the fact that in Black Panther they were saying, white people stay away. We're going to shield this because we know you will finesse.
Right.
And that kind of like community and black owned just pride, they didn't like it. And they actually represented black women. We are warriors. We are beautiful. We are both strong and extremely sensual. We are the blueprint. Yeah. They didn't whitewash it. They didn't change it for the white gaze. There was genuinely brown girls in it.
Yeah.
Even Chadwick Boseman, bless his heart, rest in peace. It's so sad. He even learned a bit of Swahili for the role. He was like, why am I going to speak English in my land? So I've been colonized. I am going to speak a bit of Swahili as well. So to show that he is intelligent, he can speak another language, but he also speaks his indigenous language. And before that, they weren't going to use any indigenous African languages in the film. I'm like, but it's a film about Africa with no that doesn't make sense.
No sense.
It wouldn't have made sense. I think in the next movie they're probably gonna do it from the sisters' point of view, and I hope they do, because us black girls will get a time to fully shine. And I'm ready. I need to consume that type of media that is a positive representation of our experience.
Set up as the clueless chicks, the backup chicks.
Yeah.
It's always like, yeah, you're smart, but you're behind this one white girl.
You're the best friend.
You're the best friend, you're the supporter, you're the one that will always be there, but you're never her.
And the representations of black women are very intentional. Because have you noticed, black women, they're always in either unhealthy, toxic relationships where the black man is represented as useless. She's the provider. He's doing nothing. He's smashing all the chicks. Because you had it even in Clueless where the black guy was just unserious. He was always making mistakes and she was always shouting at him. And then even in like movies like Baby Boy, another useless black male, and it's just like it teaches people.
Oh yeah, when someone has the cheek to turn around and go, I feel like I see you as an event. Why do I have to be your event? Why are you wishing bad things upon my life? You will never say, to a white girl, oh yeah, I want you to be my, I don't know, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Because Harley Quinn is fucking crazy. You want Harley Quinn.
Yeah, and nonsense. Like, and these representations are dangerous because people watch this and they think, oh, this is how I look, so this is going to be my reality. It's scary. And that's why I feel like people, especially black women, have really been enjoying creating their own representations, like Insecure, Bubblegum for us in the UK. And that shows like the awkward black girl, the talented black girl, the writer black girl. That it's like, it's not just the adjacent character to a black male that's moving mad, or the best friend to a white girl. Do you get me? We're having more layers to our character, more depth, which I appreciate. And but what are your predictions for the rest of 2020 and for your life? Do you think that we're at a turning point in 2020, that after this year we might make actual strides in racism? Because if we're getting to the stage where this is mad, Piers Morgan is defending us on Little Britain, then I'm seeing a little bit of hope, but maybe I don't want to get too excited because we have been disappointed before. A lot. We've been disappointed a lot. So what would you guys say about that?
Gosh, we're going through this for so many years that at this point, at one point you just start losing hope and you just start wishing for the best. And I feel like it's time for people just to start taking responsibilities, and we can't sit around and wait no more.
We can't wait for a handout from white people. We can't wait for them to make up for what they did. We have to make up for what we have to do. We just have to do it.
They don't like to acknowledge what they've done. Oh, you're still talking about slavery. But wasn't that them that they love talking about? Oh, 9/11.
Yeah.
They love to mention that one every year.
The British Empire.
All of that.
It's still praised.
Look at Remembrance.
It is still praised,
They do all these different things to keep their story alive, to keep their history alive. But when it's us, we're not allowed. So honestly, my predictions for 2020 can only be in relation to what we do and how we take a stand and how we act for the rest of the year and for the years coming, because we actually need to make a difference. Because like even when they say like on Twitter, BLM is not a trend. Saying Black Lives Matter is not a trend. This is a real life thing. Don't just say it because when it's trending and when it's popping. Say it all the time, every day, every year.
Because we are dying. People are spitting in our face. Like, what was her name? Did you have the rail worker who got spat on?
Yes.
And then died of COVID?
His name, Bunji.
Yeah.
Bujinga.
I cried because she's got a daughter left. Is that daughter? And black girls often get put to the side because we're always fighting for black men, which we should fight for our brothers and sisters. But we need that same energy.
And it's that type of mindset that's killing us. That's having us in these hospitals. That is having us 3 or 4 times more likely for us to die in labour because they have this mindset that we're stronger, we're stronger. No, we're all human. God made us all the same.
And we're not stronger.
We're not.
We're actually not.
We're not.
That idea comes from medical racism.
Yeah.
It is. That's where it's founded from. And it's like, you can't, if we don't discuss this, then people won't know that it's wrong and these stereotypes will still continue. I don't want my kids to grow up in a world where another Mr. Muncaster will say, oh, when I was a kid I thought there was dirt on your face. What the
I honestly was sat there 16 years old and I went, because I can't
mad.
believe my ass was in 2016 and I was hearing this shit from my fucking teacher, man.
And people are angry when they see black women or black men have self-hate. They get angry when you see a dark-skinned person say, oh, dark skins are ugly, dark skins are this, and they're dark skinned themselves. That comes from deep psychological trauma. You're basically calling yourself ugly while trying to cause... It's like you're trying to hurt someone else so no one can hurt you. If you say it first, oh, distraction.
Right.
No one clocks it. No one clocks what it does to black children, black men, black women particularly, because we get all the burden. Because we get so much burden.
How many girls did people call blick?
Terrible.
You got fat lips, you got monkey lips.
You are allowed to be dark if you're a man. It could be sexy, you could be fetishized.
Dark, sexy, chocolate, but when it's us, it's ugly as hell.
Literally.
And only now it's becoming a wave like, oh, so protect black women, protect our beautiful black queens. But is it
Really started loving black women in 2018.
Because I even remember there used to be a Facebook trend. It was like light skins versus dark skins. It's like, we're all the same race. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
That.
So gross.
And people would engage in it. When I used to see like dark skinned people engaging, I'd be like, babes, let's exit ourselves from this conversation. It's so stupid. Let's not even engage in this stupid rounding up. But Lupita Nyong'o had a very interesting point, and she said that colorism is the daughter of racism. And if we are really continuously lifting up the white aesthetic and the European look, the European standards of beauty, then we are inherently saying, as because we don't look like Europeans,
Right.
we are inherently saying we're ugly.
Yeah.
So even if we're saying it, oh, the lighter the better, the wavier the hair, you're still calling yourself ugly because you're not one. And that's the problem. We'll never surpass racism if we're doing basically racism's child to ourselves. We'll never progress. Because then when we create our own media outlets, that's why I want to interview these 2 beautiful black women, dark skin chocolate queens. You're gonna age like fine wine. I can already see it, bro.
I've got my sunscreen also.
Oh, of course, period.
Even that whole notion of black people can't wear sunscreen.
Fam, that's dangerous. There's these narratives that are dangerous because then we can get cancer. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
There are so many strategic ways that they're trying to take us out. Because even where we are put in, the neighborhoods we're put in, fam, I've seen working class white people in better houses than people who have good jobs that are black. And it's like they will put you in certain areas. In the UK, there's certain areas channeling. I even heard with the A-level results and the GCSE results.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother thing. Oh,
But if you don't come from a rich family, they assume you're gonna have bad grades. What? And it's usually the poor kids that are working harder so they can make it out of that. How many immigrant families? They don't want to see us win, but we have to win.
We have to.
We have to win. Well, an acquaintance, he recently got jumped in Liverpool. 5 white men jumped him.
I seen that on the TL.
And that was when I actually deep. I was like, we're actually in a war for our lives. And it's scary because when you see people around you, it's not even a film anymore. It's not a movie you're watching. It's not a Twitter video from miles away. This is an acquaintance. It could have been me. It could have been you. And I live in Liverpool when I'm not in Manchester. Do you know how scary that is? And it was in public. So loads of people saw it. Only two people came to like be like, are you okay? And that was after he was finished, after they were beating him, the 5 men stamping on his head. Why didn't anyone call while they were stamping on the head? Oh, police, there's these thugs hitting a boy for being black. Because it's very obvious, if there's one black boy and there's 5 white people on them, clearly that's not just, it's a racial attack. So that really scared me, and it showed me that this isn't just a hashtag. This is our lives. I hope 2020 is a turning point. Any last final statements, anything you want to say? You can shout out your social medias and stuff if you like.
Oh yeah, soon I'll be having my hair business and nail business and lash business out there. essiecares, essiecares. Soon, check out on Instagram. We'll be launching November 1st. I'm so excited. But yeah, today was such a great opportunity to talk about things that don't get spoken about. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
That was nice, Esther.
Oh god.
For all the white people that are gonna watch this, yeah, we're not being racist to you, because you ain't going through shit anyway. Yeah? Don't worry about what we have to say, because you don't have to go through it. So it shouldn't be threatening to you, it shouldn't be scary to you, it shouldn't even bother you, it shouldn't make you press, because you don't go through it.
Either help or it's fine to just be quiet.
Exactly.
That's all we're asking for. Either help or just be quiet. Don't make it harder for us.
Make some noise, please.
Stop making noise, we're going through our struggle, stop doing that, and then you want to be adding your noise. Very annoying. It's like you going through a migraine and then you're hearing a baby crying, you want to stamp on the baby's head. You get it? So stay out of our business. That's all I'm asking. And don't come and report Ariola because of what we're saying, because me, I'll come and find you.
Alright, this was UI. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to film the next video.